Made
Accepted.
it.
There you go.
We made it.
I know the connection this
Well,
morning
you know,
wasn't great, but can you hear me?
we're not so close, so obviously, can you hear me?
Hmm. It's like cutting out a little bit.
Okay.
That's better.
I hope it will work. You know, we might have some interaction between the continents.
Well, it's sunny and not cloudy today, so I'm hoping we have clear-ish signal. But yeah, how are
Well,
you? So tell everyone where you're at and how you're doing today.
so I'm in Moscow. Snowing today, but it's okay. It's less cold than what it was a couple of weeks ago. So it's spring is coming. Although it's snowing, we have an impression that spring is already here. So everything is fine, and I'm so happy to see you. Although it's very early in the morning over there,
So
right?
yeah, it's like it's 8 a.m. and I just woke up and I know several people are waking up. I saw Cassie pop on for a second, but it's beautiful outside. We're over here in Texas in the US, and we're finishing up winter and we're headed into spring, but we've had a few cold days recently, but it's really they've all been gorgeous, honestly, like 60s. So enjoying the weather over here. And I know we wanted to hop on today because we met through nutrition school back in 2020. So I know we both took an opportunity during that year to do an online nutrition certification. And we just both bring really interesting perspectives. And so we wanted to share a little bit about that. Um, so something I wanted to touch on was kind of like, why did we decide to do this in 2020? Like, why did we decide to become health coaches in 2020? Did you want to touch on that?
Yes. Well, actually, I think that this is one of our common areas, no? This career change thing. And although you are only 26 years old, which is not half my age, but I think, well, yes, it is half my age. That's just amazing when I'm thinking of that. I'm twice your age, Alexis. But having said that, we have common worries, common issues, and lots in common. So this is what makes this whole thing so exciting.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, this IIN school was a discovery for me. It came in a period of my life where I just felt the need of doing something that I really like for myself. In the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really. I wasn't really planning to change career. But then, I really believe that this is something that I can also practice with other people around me, with clients, and so on. I got very excited about that, and I'm still excited about that. Because at the end, at my age, I found out what really matters and what are really my values at this period of my life. And I realized that it's never late to go inside and to go really very sincerely in what are your strengths and
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking after your life. And this is something also that change. You are,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have the same experience, but this is something, at your 20s you can be like that, and then 30s
It changes
something.
again.
Yes, yes. So I don't know how you have experienced all that.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I think that's why I love talking to you because you are like double my age. I can learn so much from you and what you've experienced that makes you value health and what part of like health do you really value. And I think something that like I noticed was just as a young professional when I started working that health was kind of like the last priority to a lot of people. So like work was a priority and like, friends, family, I mean, all that stuff's a priority. And so after working for 5 years, I just felt like, whoo, we like really need to like come back to health, because if you don't have your health, then everything else is going to be more challenging. Um, so, and I think just 2020, when we had the opportunity to work from home, was like the perfect time for me to dive more into that passion of mine. And so everything was going virtual, and so I could actually do IIN. And then, yeah, I think that year was the year that everybody was looking, how do I improve my health, right? It was becoming more of a focus. Whereas like a lot of people, it didn't matter to a lot of people before that. It had always mattered to me, but I wanted to be able to help people as well, like as that was coming, as that was happening. So yeah, definitely as a young professional, I was like, wanted to get more into health, and how can I do small things on a busy schedule that'll make a big impact, because I think that's what a lot of people need. The biggest hurdle for people is time, typically.
Yes. So do you feel that you are ready now to do the big jump and let back completely your previous work or your current work, because you are still a young busy professional, and jump completely into health health trip and health business?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still a little all over the place. I'm still working at my professional job. I'm still teaching yoga, which I absolutely love. And then I'm also working part-time or kind of on the weekends for Casey Shea Nutrition. So I'm one of her assistant health coaches, and I help run her clients, and I want to start taking on some of my own. So yeah, I'm ready to jump into the next phase. I think that would be very
and
fulfilling.
and and let and let go all your limiting beliefs we've discussed about, huh?
Yes, I feel like I always have to be doing it all to be successful.
Of course. Yeah.
But all right,
Yeah.
so that was a little bit of how I got into health coaching. Now that we've gotten into it, do you want to talk about like your specialty and what you see as how you can help others?
Yes. The connection, I don't know if you've got me in a good with a good connection. It has some interruptions. I don't know if it's yours or mine. Anyway, I hope that all our friends can correctly. So I'm into. I have my first niche is how to age well, obviously, because this is also what I'm experiencing in my life. So I really feel the need to give my view and my experience on that. It's not because I'm 53 that I don't take care of myself. I don't find new ways to feel good and to feel healthy and to feel
Mm-hmm.
motivated the whole time. So I think that actually I'm probably in one of the best periods of my life. And when I see other, people around me that have reached their 40s or 50s, and they feel that they are already too old or too tired, or they don't have the willpower, or they don't find the motivation in order to start new things, then really I feel the need to boost them and tell them, no, that's not over. We still have so many years to go, and it's our new youth that is arriving. Our kids are already teenagers, or even have left our home. So it's really the right time to go for it. And this is
Mm-hmm.
something that I'm doing, and I feel the need to share it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Apart from that, I also work with professionals of, a bit younger than me, in their late 30s or 40s, because I've been through that. And this is a period of our lives when we are really very, very busy with our work, and, trying to build wealth for our families, and in the same time have kids of like 8 or 9 or 10 years old, and it's really a lot is happening. And
Right.
we women, well, but we women have the tendency, and this is what I've experienced, to let ourselves completely aside, So, you know, we don't take care of ourselves. And this is actually the period of our lives where really we need to be very concentrated on ourselves in order to have the strength to give around us.
Beautifully
So,
said.
yes, yes. So this is what I'm willing to share, and I'm sharing already with my clients, and you know, I think that it has a positive impact on them. So what about you, Alexis? Let the youth talk.
Ooh, I love that. I want to say my first niche is definitely helping busy professional women. Since it's kind of like, right, like what I practice on myself is what I want to share with others. So helping busy professional women still prioritize their health and still feel their best, because if you feel good, you have more confidence, you perform better. And so I think that's really important just all around. And then I also want to emphasize just stress. Stress is really big over here in the US, and I actually think it's one of the things that impacts people's health like across the board. And 2020 was really hard on a lot of people because anytime there's like unknowns or things we can't control, that skyrockets a lot of people's stress as well. And then that stress impacts your gut and your digestion and your mindset and all those things. And so working professionals tend to also be under a lot of stress. And so I like to really help that group. How do we improve your health with small changes and stress management and whole foods? And then I just take it holistically and as a bio individual, which we learned in IAN, right? So holistic means it's not just diet and exercise, right? That's been a big emphasis in the past. Calories in, calories out, diet, exercise, but it's so much more than that. It's how are you absorbing your food? How are you sleeping? Are you hydrated? Because you're 70% water, things like that. And then the bio individual, I know there's always these popular diet trends. Like I think you and me have talked about how there's like vegan or keto, and each one of those is going to work for somebody, but something different works for each person. And so finding out like what works for you with your lifestyle and like your genes or your living situation, right? That's really important. And so like one thing doesn't fit everybody. So we want to find what works for you. And so that's really important to me as well. So busy professionals, stress, what really works for you, and just offering those accountability and holistic solutions to help people is really what I'm passionate about. Yeah, so that's a little bit of what I focus on.
Fantastic wrap up you made. Very much to the point. Alexis, I know that you are a lot into superfoods. Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
tell us about that? Because you know, we know about them here in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
but we are learning a lot about what you guys are saying overseas. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I am really passionate about superfoods. One, just because over time there's not as much nutrients in food these days because of the soil, but also as a busy professional, I just tend to need like that extra boost of energy. So some of my favorites in the morning that I take are nootropics, or you could even say matcha. Nootropics are for like brain energy and clarity, and so I love those, like lion's mane. So I have
So,
like a little chocolate that I take from Sakara Life every morning, and I swear by it. Like I don't drink coffee. It has a touch of caffeine in it from green tea, but it's really cool, and most of them are like from plants, and they support your body, but give you that
but
like extra boost. Mm-hmm.
Alexis, which one was the first one you said? Because
Uh,
I missed.
yeah, nootropics. I really should go get my jar out of the
eh,
fridge, but that there's a whole range of
Oh,
them, and you could just look up different ones for what you need, but they're usually for brain energy or focus, because I know a lot of people experience brain fog, but we're demanded to work like 10 hours a day. And so that's why I love those. And there's a whole bunch of them. And then the other ones that I really like are the adaptogens. And so I tend to take the adaptogens like ashwagandha, rhodiola, those in the afternoon or evening when I'm kind of like starting to get really stressed out towards the end of the day. And
for
sometimes those work.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ashwagandha is to calm down, actually, in a way. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it helps your body adapt to stress by like supporting your adrenal system. And so and there's other things that can do that over here. There's always like different things like coming out, like CBD, and but you just always want to make sure it's like a quality. And so I do a lot of like vetting of the brands that I use, and yeah, because that matters, right? Like
Yes.
quality matters. So and then of course like spirulina and algae, there's foods like that that just really nutrient dense. So I love adding spirulina to my smoothie as a green because it's
Mm.
almost like a multivitamin in a powder. So I feel like
Yes.
I when I make a smoothie with things like that, I feel very energized. Yeah.
Yes. The taste of spirulina, though, is a little bit awkward, no, isn't it?
If you put it with like some pineapple, like you'll never taste it. Like a little bit
Okay.
of citrus. Citrus is my trick usually.
Okay. Okay. That's a good thing. So citrus and pineapple, huh?
Yeah. Anything, yeah, like pineapple, banana, some spinach, spirulina. You could do like, some almond milk or coconut water, and then it kind of tastes like tropical. So I kind of do something like that, try to make sure I've got some protein, fats, and fiber in my smoothies to balance it. But I mean, I think your taste buds change over time. So the more that you start to incorporate these healthier things, the more your body actually starts to crave them because it gives you energy.
Of course.
The kind of craving for fast food is kind of like it's more of a high than a low, a high than a low. And so that's more of like a craving, whereas like this is more your body is really needing it. Yeah, I don't know. This feels a little bit different, and you'll start to feel it in your own body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what you said about the craving is so true. Usually our body craves for what is received more recently. This is
Mm-hmm.
how it works. Obviously, if you eat, chocolate or sweets, every day, obviously your body will need the same thing the next day. Whereas if you stick to spirulina and matcha and those things, then
Mm-hmm.
your body will need those nutrients and elements. So another common thing that we have is yoga. So let's talk about yoga.
Sure. Yeah. So why don't you go first? Like, how did you start? Do you want me to go first?
Okay, I will go first. Actually, what I have to say, and I'm so happy about that, is that I'm about to get my yoga certification, which is something yes, it's quite crazy. It's not done yet, but soon it will be. I did it online though, so which was even more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
So yoga for me was really something that changed my life. And that happened 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, because I was always a lot into, running and
Very intense sports. Yes. Cardio.
second. Okay, now I'm back. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I was a lot into all those cardio sports, and I did a bit of triathlon also at a certain point, which I still do once in a while. So, and actually, my body was completely exhausted, and I overdid it. And at that time, I mean, 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing Pilates, but there was something missing. And then by chance, I tried the yoga, and now it's something that really I want to change for nothing, because really yoga is what is balancing my body and my brain. So speaking about brain clarity and not having this brain fog, for me yoga has helped a lot. But also body wise, after all that intense sport, this allows me really to reconnect with my mind, with my soul, with my heart, with my thoughts. It allows me also to pause, because I was always, in a constant running and hectic way of living. So this really has allowed me to see things in another perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really very grateful for that. So it's yeah, and this is why I decided also to do the certification more for myself, you know, just for the sake of I don't really I'm not really planning to become a yoga teacher, but it's really for myself that I did that, because I think that you know, it has helped me to go to another level of the practice, actually.
I love that. And I think everybody should do something for themselves, just like you are. And I agree. I think yoga is very balancing to the body. That's one of my, I love that you say that. But yeah, I can tell you, I know you know a little bit about how I got into yoga. Do you want me to share?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I had done yoga off and on throughout college, like just here or there to balance out my different types of workouts. But in 2017, when I started working full time, I was sitting a lot. And so I always tell people, you know, when you're little, you don't really have to stretch. Like you can just go work out and you're fine. You probably won't injure yourself. But then when I started working and I was sitting for like 9 or 10 hours and then I would go work out without really a lot of stretching, that's when you're more prone to injury. And so I was really stiff and then like trying to jump into movement. And I just remember we were doing like Insanity or some like kind of HIIT workout, really intense. And we were doing a twisting drill and I just strained my back. Like my muscles started spasming in my low back and I was like, couldn't bend over. And I was like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? And
Yeah.
so it took me a few weeks to heal. I had to take like muscle relaxants and hot ice off and on. And I was like really scared to do intense workouts again. And so I decided to join Equinox and I just started doing the yoga and the Pilates classes because they're supposed to be really good for your back. And so that's how I slowly started to heal and strengthen my back as well. And then I wasn't as scared to do more intense things after that. But in addition to healing that injury through those modalities, I also noticed I was less stressed at work. I had better range of motion. I had better core strength. I felt more mental clarity. And I think those things are also because of the breath work in yoga. And
Yes.
that breath work, when you inhale and exhale from pose to pose, connects your mind and body and just really shifts you back into your parasympathetic state. And I just wanted to share that with other people because I felt like it could help busy professionals like with stress and clarity. It was just really powerful to me that it could do so many things. And it's,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still blown away every day.
Yeah.
And
And the other thing, yeah, the other thing that I wanted to add, which I forgot to mention, is that especially when you are getting, you know, after 40 or even after 35, or, you know, an age where your body starts to perform differently, but even more at 50, you know, it's so important because we are losing the basic motion of our bodies. I mean, what I have experienced is that even though I was running and I'm still running and, you know, all those things, sometimes I could not, you know, I could not turn around just to check what was happening behind me, or when I was parking my car, you know, I could not. Yes. And then also for grabbing something from the floor, it was becoming sometimes challenging. So, you know, this is something, I mean, it's actually, it's a must. It's a must to work for your stretching and the basic motion of your body. And this can be achieved, well, I won't say only through yoga because I don't want to sound so biased, but yoga is the, is probably the best way. And also, you know, sometimes people are afraid because they think that, wow, if I get into yoga suddenly it means that I would have to do all those strange poses and you know, no, I mean, you don't need to do that. You do it if you want it, but there are courses that allow you only to work on the stretching of the body and the main motion of the body, and also that with the mind. So
yeah, and you just
I
make
think
different
that this is
shapes.
very important and very essential for people.
Yeah, and the other thing that I like about yoga, now that you're saying,
Sorry.
the other thing I was going to say that I like about yoga, since you're saying that, is I don't know, I actually have a hard time meditating. I don't sit still very well. And so yoga for me is a moving meditation because when I move from pose to pose, I can't really think about anything else. So I forget about my to-do list. I forget about work because concentrating on my breath and moving from this pose. Okay, now the teacher said this pose. And so for me, it's sort of a moving meditation, which I struggle to do a sitting meditation. And so I think that's another reason that I really like it as well. And I think anybody who struggles to sit and meditate can kind of get that through yoga on a mat. So I've experienced that as well.
Absolutely. For me was the step towards meditation. I mean, I'm able to meditate thanks to the yoga practice. Of course, absolutely.
So one more thing.
What other plans do we have, Alexis?
What say, like, what plans do we have?
Yes, professionally. What are your plans?
Awesome. Yeah, well, so some of my plans that I'm getting into are, I want to start working with clients on 4-month programs. So I know I mentioned earlier, our Casey Shea Nutrition, who I work with, we offer a 4-month program just for kind of holistic nutrition coaching that I'm going to lead. And that is to help create sustainable wellness solutions for people that just want to improve their health or are busy and need that accountability. And so I'm really passionate, as you know, from IIN, doing at least 3 to 4 months, because you don't see changes overnight. So we want to build sustainable habits so that when you finish the program, you feel confident that you can continue doing those things. And then also I'm going to start offering a one-time consultation for people that have the confidence in, executing recommendations on their own and maybe don't need as much accountability. So they would fill out a health history form, and then I would make a report of recommendations, and they can implement them on their own time and their own accountability. But yeah, and then I also want to work with you at some point to do a wellness retreat. I know we've talked about doing it in Greece because that's where you're from and you have a place there. So tell us a little bit about what you want to do and maybe about those retreats you'd like to have, because I'm hoping we get to do some yoga over there too.
Well, I hope so too. That would be great. So speaking about programs, I'm also offering a kind of, well, I don't know if it's similar, but anyway, it's probably very complementary to the ones you offer. Just that, as you mentioned, and I think that this is very important for people to understand, I think it's important to have programs that are, not 1 month program, because this transformation cannot occur overnight. Right. So, and this is why, this is what I've experienced in myself. When I saw that something was changing, it took me time, really. So this is why I'm offering also 6 months program, which I think are going more, deep to the issues of each person, seeing it holistically, obviously. So that's one thing. Speaking of wellness retreats, which are very, attractive. I mean, the idea is very attractive, and I hope it would work. So yes, as I was mentioning to you also the other day, I have I have a project to I'm already organizing. Happened, so everything is ready, really. I mean, the house is there, the people are there to welcome us, the
Ooh, I think I lost you for a second. Oh, wow. I can even add text. Okay, you guys, I think I might have lost Isabelle. Let me see if I can just add her back in, and then we'll wrap up. So something that I think is really cool that Isabelle and I love is during this time where everything became more virtual, it's just a reminder that you can connect with people in all kinds of different places and learn from them. There she
Here we
is.
are. So in the more interesting part of our talk. Okay,
Yeah, and I
so
was just
yes, I
telling
was saying
people
that
how, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to,
So
yeah, talk about the
what I was, yes, I don't know where you lost me, but what I was saying is that I have organized those wellness retreats that unfortunately, due to the situation worldwide, I haven't been really able
yeah.
to host people, but everything is ready. You know, the house is there waiting for us. The people are already, ready to welcome us. And I have someone who is a specialist for Mediterranean food. Then I have someone who can show us around some organic farms on the island. So it's
Ooh,
on the island of Paros, which is one of the central islands of the Aegean Sea. So there is a farm there that we will be able to visit. Then we will also visit organic winery. So
ooh,
many things, and also some photo session, meditation photo session that I have that I'm planning, and also of course yoga and some meditation and mindfulness. The place there is just is calling for that, because it's in the middle of the nature. The view to the sea is absolutely unique. And there is this special energy and special something in the air that really allows people to connect back with their body and their mind and their essentials. So I hope that I will see you there, Alexis.
yes, I was telling my friends about your place. It's what, Villa Macmore, and they were all like, "We have to go as soon as we can fly." So,
I hope.
and it holds what, like 15 people, and we just want to have a big retreat there. All of my yoga girlfriends want to go. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to drop the name of it in the chat, but we can, when I save this to IGTV, we can add it in the comments as well. So that way people can check it
Yeah.
out because it's beautiful and we all
Also,
need a reset.
we can have some retreats that are adapted to the needs of each group. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
not only about yoga and meditation. I have
Mm-hmm.
also considered some other concepts, like
Yeah,
career change, for example, with someone, psychologist that can come and help us, with all those issues happening when someone is deciding to change career and to change path in one's life. So there is a lot that can be done over there.
yeah, I love it. There's so much that we can offer people and just to help and give value. Definitely. Well, I know we wanted to wrap
Yeah,
up around 30 or
exactly.
40 minutes. So it's been a pleasure talking to you. And what time is it over there in Russia? Almost 6 p.m.?
It's 26 in the afternoon, so
Wow.
5:40 actually.
So
And yes.
it's 8:40 here. So that's so cool that we get to connect. And I was just telling people when I lost you for a minute, we love that we can connect, across oceans virtually and just learn from each other. That's really cool.
Yes, and we have, obviously we have completely different experiences and completely different way of life in a way, but nevertheless there are some common values connected. So this is the beauty of
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Huh?
And just one more
And
thing I wanted to touch on was if anyone was listening or catches this after, if anyone was interested in taking the same nutrition certification we did through IIN, they can just reach out to one of us, and they can refer us and get a discount to take that certification, because I know it made a big difference and impact in my life to definitely see things on a holistic perspective as well, how stress can impact my health and different things like that. So if anyone is interested in just taking that program for themselves, like you were saying, it's important to do things for yourself. reach out to us and or refer our names, and you'll get a discount. So that makes it more affordable for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
And
Well, I hope
time
you have a great, yeah.
opportunity to have a chat. We need to talk a little bit. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Okay, great. So next time, if we have the opportunity again to meet on live, I think that it could be interesting to mention, you know, some of the differences in the diets. For example, you in the States, you have some particular diet, whereas in Europe, you know, sometimes can be very different. So this is something that can be also, I think, interesting to exchange on the diet theories of each continent or even each country. This can be something.
Yeah, we definitely should. We scratched the surface with the Mediterranean versus kind of the trending diets, but we should definitely do that next time. I think people would find that really interesting.
Yes. Okay. So nice talking to you. I wish you a very good Sunday. You have a yoga class now, right?
Yes, I'm gonna go teach some yoga, and then I'm gonna go take a class for me outside. So I'm super excited, and hopefully you get to have dinner with your family, and we'll have to connect again soon.
Yes, Alexis. Bye. See you
Bye.
soon. Bye bye. Cheers. Nice. Bye.